Hello everybody, welcome to the Michael Wilby Show, episode number 24. I'm your host, Michael Wilby. Today I'm going to talk about the Hamilton Bulldogs, the weekend in review, as well as the NFL Combine, in particular regarding the Cleveland Browns quarterback situation, as the quarterback is the most coveted position in demand right now for the Cleveland Browns. I have my 2 cents on who is going to play for the Cleveland Browns this year, therefore getting drafted by the Cleveland Browns this year. Also, we're going to make a major announcement regarding the show for the coming weeks and months ahead. But first, I would like to express the breaking news going right now from the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Just touch briefly on that. The Hamilton Tiger Cats have re-signed Emmanuel Davis to a contract. Emmanuel Davis is a major contributor to the Hamilton Tiger Cats team this year, last season I should say. Let's get into the stats right now. Last season he registered 61 tackles, 1 sack, 5 interceptions, 3 of those for touchdowns. He was a major part, like I said, the ball hawk machine. That was the Hamilton Tiger Cats secondary this last season, I should say. That was his 3rd season last year. He will be entering his 4th season as a member of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. He signed as a free agent back on July 24, 2013. He played in all 18 games last year. Like I said, registering 61 tackles, 8 special teams, 1 sack, and 5 interceptions, 3 of them from touchdowns, and a fumble force recovered. Emmanuel Davis is from East Carolina, and he was born in 1988. 5'11", 182 pounds, from Mankato, North Carolina. So congratulations to him. A really good player, like I said. And let's hope the Hamilton Tiger Cats secondary will be as good as advertised from last year into this year. And more about the Hamilton Tiger Cats in the coming weeks and months ahead, especially training camp around the corner in May. Hard to believe is only about 2.5 months away from the start of training camp, but that's the reality of this year. It has been gone very, very fast. But let's turn attention now to the Hamilton Bulldogs from last weekend. And out of the 4 possible points that they were up for grabs, the Hamilton Bulldogs only got 1 point, and that was back on Sunday. They lost on overtime 2-1 to Saginaw. I will have a blog entry regarding that game, that review, coming up some point tonight on my blog page, which you can go to at michaelwilloughby52.wordpress.com. That's michaelwilloughby52.wordpress.com. The first game at First Ontario Center, it was a relatively home-and-home game, even though the Battalion played an extra game, and that was against Erie. The Bulldogs won in North Bay in overtime 4-3 back last Thursday. But Saturday, and I was in that game actually, and from what I saw was a horrendous performance by the Hamilton Bulldogs. Even though offensively they put forth a good effort, they went down the net, they generated a lot of shots. They were relatively in the game for much of the 2 periods, and albeit just a very few penalties. I think it was like 2 or 3 penalties overall in the game. but it was largely discipline, and give credit to the Hamilton Bulldogs for that. And the negatives is very noticeable, unfortunately. It's the starting goaltender's very shaky performance, and that is referring to Caden Fulcher. He wasn't at his best back on Saturday night. I tell you that right now. He gave up, I believe, on his first 2 shots he faced, he gave up 2 goals. He was relieved by Connor Hicks, did relatively well in relief for the remainder of the first period, but albeit it was a good decision by George Burnett just to give Caden Fulcher another crack at it. He settled down and did relatively good for the second period and at the first few minutes of the third. But unfortunately, North Bay turned on the Jets on a very slow Hamilton Bulldog team. And it was an incredibly pathetic showing by the Hamilton Bulldogs as a team. They were, like I said, they were completely flat in the third period. They were virtually fatigued. They had too much conservative pass play in the attack zone. That means taking too much time passing the puck rather than then going hard to the net. Which they, to some extent, they did, but they had too much conservative play in the attacking zone for a large part of the game. And give credit to the North Bay Battalion goaltender. He stole the show and gave North Bay a strong, commanding lead in the Eastern Conference, in the Western Conference, I should say. They are 6 points up with Bailey Colts. I'm just going to check the standings very quickly and just going to double check. But I just think, just give me 1 second. But I think according to the standings, North Bay Battalion is in third place in the Eastern Conference. My apologies. They are trailing by 3 points. Oh, I should let it go. Apologies. I'm just trying to get. They're in the Eastern Conference. The Eastern Conference. Okay, my bad. My apologies, folks. Okay, Battalion is 3 points back of first place by Barry. They have a relatively comfortable position to finish 4th in the conference. To finish in the top 3, they're no worse than 4th. Going in the final 10 games of the regular season. Relatively 9 games left to go for the Battalion, but it is relatively safe speaking that the Battalion will finish no worse than 4th, if not 5th. And as I look at the standings, since we are in this position, Hamilton Bulldogs remarkably, they're only down by 2 points in the 8th and final playoff spot. Oshawa has 54, Hamilton has 52. Hamilton had a 1 point lead, had a great opportunity to go 3 points up on Oshawa, but didn't make that, at least guaranteed 2 3-point lead. But the Bulldogs blew it. Generals played a commendable hockey last weekend, highlighted by a 5-0 shutout victory over the Kitchener Rangers. And, the Generals are more battle-tested when it comes to battle for playoff position, whereas the Bulldogs is a relatively young team, but is a beneficial experience nevertheless as they are heading towards what I think is the end of their season. And in regards to the state of the franchise for the Bulldogs, this is another important offseason. Last offseason was a transition, and I'm going to say this in a couple of weeks' time, most likely. But I think the Hamlin Bulldogs, without a doubt about it, in my mind, has a very important offseason. After the last season, going into offseason, they were in a transition phase from Belleville, relocating the Belleville Bulls franchise to Hamilton. And during that time, it was the Hamilton Bulldogs that draft. They draft Matthew Stroll, Mackenzie Whistle, among others. Really good draft. Hamilton needs to have another great draft coming up, which will take place likely the second week of April. They are currently in a top 5 pick, and it's pretty much icing on the cake. Probably third or fifth place overall in terms of the draft ranking. Hamilton Bulldogs is in really good position to get a marquee player. I very like the guy who was immigrated from Russia. His name is Nikhil Kremikov. I'm trying to pronounce his last name. He plays for the Kingston Junior Canadians. Or I should say the Junior Canadians minor hockey team in Kingston, I believe, or Toronto. One way or the other, he is a major player. He's in the top 5 on hockey prospects rankings for the OHL draft. I think Hamilton should get a marquee player, and this is the guy. He's in that area. There's no room for defensemen. There's literally the goaltending. I think Connor Hicks and Caden Fulcher will battle out for the number 1 job come training camp. Now, because of Connor Hicks' really good performances as of late, I think Connor Hicks is here to stay relatively. And same as Caden Fulcher, if you get a full season in him. He didn't really quite have it when he was in Sarnia. This is his first year. He will spend most of his first two eligible years in the OHL in the minor, in the Junior B team in Sarnia area where he lived throughout his life. This is his first major exposure in a hockey career. And Caden Fulcher is going to be a very good goaltender for this team. He has another year, if not 2 years, more to give than Connor Hicks. Connor Hicks is relatively have another year left after next season. But Caden Fulcher has two years. So I can see the goaltending as a lock. The defense is a lock. They're going to get better. They're seeing a lot of good games. Not great, but very good performances. But we need a star player in the draft. And without a doubt, Hamilton is in the top 5. Without a doubt, they are a lot for a top 5 draft pick and an OHL priority selection draft. And likely in the top 10 in the import draft in the CHL coming up in June. So that is that, folks. The Hamilton Bulldogs weekend review. Upcoming games tomorrow, Hamilton's Imperial Bowl. Hamilton next home games are on Saturday against Guelph at 7 o'clock. And Sunday afternoon, which I will be there at 3 o'clock against Ottawa. It's down the wire, folks. We got 7 games left to play. And Hamilton is definitely, without a doubt, needs a major push. If not, major push for the playoffs. If not, I just think George Burnett and the coaching staff will likely be gone. Because you cannot have